here.
And
Andre purchased the package. What was it?
at the Legion,
The Dutch thing, whatever? Yeah.
that's fine. Hot buffalo wings.
Okay.
Let me get the number off it for you.
Cereal.
Let me see this.
Barcode.
Got the bad chip right here.
Barcode number is 746. Barcode number.
It doesn't look bad, really.
Show this motherfucker key you.
No, I've eaten those.
It's at least
Tim would
burned.
probably eat it right now.
Was you drunk when you was eating it? No, I don't answer that.
That just probably has a burnt taste to it or something. I'm sure on camera it's not really going to show up as that bad, but
You know the whole history of the opiate situation in America? You do? Right. What is it? What's the opiate situation in America? When was it brought into America? Opiates.
1896, 1897.
Pretty specific. No, it was before than that.
No. Basically, when they started realizing what it was, late 1800s.
Yeah, it was late 1800s. I thought it was earlier than that.
No. But it couldn't be wrong.
so what's the...
You're right. German chemists were coming up with morphine and shit like that, yeah.
Wait for anybody else talk about.
They brought it in. People started getting addicted to it. I mean, like, it was sold through the Sears catalog, you know that?
I heard that.
Yeah. Morphine sold through the Sears catalog for many years. In fact, you could get it with a syringe that would send it to you in the mail.
Really?
Yep. And then, you know what, the cure that they came up, once they realized morphine caused addiction, they came up with a cure. You know what it was?
Made it a pharmaceutical.
Heroin. Heroin.
Biggest cat I've ever seen. Yeah, you. Yep. This is Dilly's dad's house. This is the cat. I don't remember his name. What's your name? Joel? Okay, we'll call you Joel. Joel Bain. See, he even agrees to Joel Bain. Big kitty. Okay, later.
Bame's house. The distant future.
Okay.
There's a big crack in the snow right there.
Right, I would need to, like, if I could study this.
That's the problem. Try to get those two Twin Peaks.
But anyway, he apparently decided that he was going to treat his players with respect,
Tice.
and it's been all downhill from there.
Yeah, that's the
Can't-
truth. You
Can't
can't
make that assumption.
You can't treat Negroes with respect these days.
Ever since Moss got away with having one of those marijuana cigarettes in his
Marijuana.
car.
I mean, he had marijuana in his car. He obviously wasn't smoking it because they monitored
And
his
then he,
body,
like,
and he didn't. I remember seeing articles in the paper saying Moss positive on drugs means suspension. And you see these big
that sounds
things.
like a
in there.
fucking modern
Moss
poem or
positive.
something.
It's like Moss positive on drugs, or is the headline.
Positive on
And then
drugs.
it's like, if he's found positive on drugs, it will mean suspension. And of course, when he was found not positive, negative for any drugs at all, there was no coverage at all, after that.
So
But
what
they had,
They didn't announce
What
that.
we've learned here
No, they
The
from
didn't
NFL doesn't announce that, so how can there be coverage?
uh,
The NFL was silent again today on the Randy Moss issue. I mean, is that what they
no. But if they'd have found, the point of the article was if they had
I
found positive,
I'm
they would have
saying-
had to have come out with it. So it's a
Right.
given that it was negative.
Right, but there's no way to cover that because they don't know when.
Well, the coverage
NFL
is that, okay, now such and such a time has passed and they haven't come out with
So
anything,
you're
so
saying
it's
there should be
negative.
an article Moss negative on drugs.
Yeah, there could be that, but the point is, in the first place, we gotta fix this table here.
Yeah, that's a bad table. Well, you can move it over one more.
Yeah, let's move down.
The movable feast.
The point is that in the first place, you should not have an article for someone who's not tested positive for drugs saying Moss positive for drugs.
See, I didn't see any coverage like that.
Oh, I
To
did.
me-
You
the
must not look
media-
at the internet.
I mean,
Have you ever
even-
heard of the internet?
No, I don't. I'll check out the internet. But I don't follow the Vikings that closely. But, from what I saw, even Robert Olson, that's fine, by the way.
Robert Olson means
You're using my ball.
Grizzly Adams?
Oh shit, sorry.
Grizzly Adams?
The police chief in Minneapolis.
Yeah, that
even
dude-
He even said it's such a small amount of marijuana. We're not terribly concerned.
So that's the lesson we've learned. You can
So,
have a
I think
joint
the
in your
media
car.
really
It's
played it
cool.
down.
It's cool. You can just have one joint. So always make sure you only go out with one joint, Joe.
I always have at least
If you're,
a joint, but not
if
much
you're a
more.
professional
Not
football
much more. Because what do you need? I mean, unless you're making a long drive,
Right.
that's the case.
When you go to Hy-Vee, just take one joint with you. That'll get you by there and back. Right?
No need for a pipe even.
Yeah. It's just a misdemeanor. I wonder how, but probably if you get hit the second time, then,
what do you think?
then you get like anally raped or something.
Well, that'd be the only way that you could get.
What, you got a sign on your car that says, I got a joint anally rape me?
Anyway, Joe,
Bingo!
I'm curious, what do you think of the job that Mike Tyson's done with the Vikings so far?
He's the worst coach that I've ever seen in the NFL.
Worse than Les Steckel?
Who's that?
Les
He was-
Steckel?
Who was he? Tampa
When
Bay?
the Vikings fans, when Vikings fans talk about the low point, it was the Les Steckel year. They actually had to bring Bud Grant back
I know the name.
for a year.
Les Steckel.
Just to right
This
the
is
ship
awful.
again.
He's got a team which could have competed for the division, in my view, and they're awful. And they've clearly. Just thank God he's white. I mean, if he was a black guy, he would be so doomed for the rest of it. He may still be, but.
So you're
but-
saying that he's accountable for the stupid mistakes that his players made? Is that-
Yeah. What I see is such a lack of coaching that I've never seen before in any of the cities I've lived in. I've lived in Green Bay. I saw the Ray Rhodes year in Green Bay. They weren't that bad. I mean, I didn't see the lack of coaching that I see here. I've lived in Baltimore. I've lived in Oakland. I've lived in different places and seen different teams.
But you know,
This guy is clueless. If anybody can't see that this guy is clueless, you don't get it.
My favorite Tice quote this year is he was on one of the sports talk shows, mopping up after the game on a Sunday night, and somebody called in and asked, why don't they ever throw the ball to Moss over the middle? And Tice said, yeah, I was wondering that too.
oh man, that's ouch. But you know, he did think of that whole, let's have Moss throw it to Culpepper.
That was a beautiful
fuck with
play.
them.
That was a
He
beautiful
totally
play.
fucked
Wow.
with their minds.
And he
Cutting.
we have to let the facts come out.
Everybody likes your hands. It's filming.
No, I read an article on filming from a director.
It said film
And
the hands.
when you're doing like this sort of filming, you said,
Avant-garde.
People do this sort of filming.
well, when you're doing home or you're doing like sort of, experimental filming, you want to film body parts more than you want to just focus on people's faces, like Tim.
No, the face is where you
No, you go to the face. When you go, the hands are more expressive.
yeah, you get into the nostril, you get into
With Tim, it's always either the face or the tits. It's always like the money shot.
oh yeah.
Found the real Jack the Ripper.
They lost him?
Well, they had speculation on who it was, and I'd seen a lot of shows on
Oh,
it.
that's right. They didn't know for sure.
Didn't know for sure, but
Didn't they think it was
turns
that
out that
Dr. Gull or whoever?
no, they thought it was that Jewish guy, crazy, an insane Jewish guy.
Not redundant.
No, not at all. But
What about Gull?
no. The guy in this article, what article is it? Tell me some like famous magazines, you know,
Salon.
Cosmopolitan.
Is that famous?
Yeah, but Joe
People-
doesn't read Salon.
People, Us, Harper's,
No, this is like more like Cosmo.
New Yorker,
Red
Cosmo. Oh,
Good Housekeeping.
Probably Cosmo is what I'm
Cosmo.
thinking.
Vanity Fair.
You guys
Could
subscribe
have been
to that,
Vanity
don't you?
Fair.
Harper's Bazaar.
It's either Vanity Fair or Cosmo has the new one has an article on
Teen People.
who the Jack the Ripper actually was, and it was the guy writing the article discovered this artist of the period who had done these pictures, you know, of like Jack the Ripper scenes. And it turns out this guy like was all fucked up and like a psychopath and everything, and they started looking at the Jack the Ripper letters and comparing them to his, and they did DNA tests and matched it up to him, making it fairly
Case closed.
well, making it fairly he could have been just like fucking with him writing letters, but he seems to have been a truly fucked up guy who would do this sort of shit. His name was Sickert.
Sickert?
Sickert. William Sickert. Or Walter Sickert.
Would you like anything from the bar?
No.
I'll take a glass, I guess, or I'll just pour it in here. Never mind.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm cool.
They have spit in it.
Does it? So it's William Sickert,
Or Walter Sickert.
and what did he do? He was a painter.
He was a painter. He was actually a student of Whistler's,
Really?
and he was viewed as the best student of his generation. He
What the
was
fuck does that mean?
tremendously Whistler.
He trained as a whistler.
First you don't know who Party Dave is, and now you know who
You don't know who Whistler is? Whistler, the artist.
No.
He's a Whistler's mother, you know. Whistler was one of the, if you talk about turn of the century artists, he was one of the most famous artists of the time.
Wow.
And so Sickert was a protege of his, and Sickert at birth, I guess, had some problem with his penis or whatever, and they tried to repair it and everything, and they couldn't, and they apparently just had a little stub or something, or had some sort of makeshift